Welcome to Third and Wrong. This is Dylan, Gage, and Mikey. We are putting out our second mock draft of the offseason. This time it won't get immediately outdated the second that we post it. So
We hope.
yeah, we hope for that. There have been a lot of changes. If you haven't seen my mock draft, you might not know of all the changes, but basically the Bears have selected Caleb Williams by trading Justin Fields to the Steelers. Russell Wilson also has gone to the Steelers. We also have Kirk Cousins gone to the Falcons. We got the Patriots with Jacoby Brissett, so they're not taking a quarterback. I'm just kidding. But a lot of stuff has happened in the offseason already, so this is kind of a reaction to free agency mock draft, and we're getting closer to what the draft is actually going to look like. I've already gone and taken the liberty of trading the Vikings up from 11 and 23 to number 5 with the Los Angeles Chargers. That spot seems to make the most amount of sense right now. Obviously, things will change. We're third and wrong. We get things wrong all the time. That's just the forever disclaimer. But if you have any other comments, thoughts, or if you just want to help us out, give us a like and subscribe if you can. But we always like to, get into that conversation with you guys in the comments. So please do that if you have any thoughts. But we will kick this video off quickly with Gage in the first pick, the Chicago Bears. Who are they taking?
They are selecting Caleb Williams.
Shockingly.
They just traded away Justin Fields like we talked about, but they also are solidifying their offense for whoever does come in and play quarterback for them with that Keenan Allen trade. They're doing everything they can to make sure whoever they do draft, if the guy busts, it's not because of their scheme and situation. It's going to be because the player just wasn't good enough. They're trying to set up everything they can for success. So that is who they pick. Pretty simple. Everyone knew it, apart from, a small delusional fan base of Justin Fields fans. But
cool. I am going to be taking Drake May out of North Carolina for the Washington Commanders. They're close to North Carolina already. They like this dude. I can guarantee it. This dude's big. He's fast. He's got that big arm, and he can play over the middle. He can play, those deep corner fades. Everything like that is within his wheelhouse. He's got things to work on, like every rookie quarterback does. But there's no shot that he's not number 2, in my opinion. So, Mikey, you're on the board.
Well, we got a guy like Marvin Harrison here. But why take him when you can go out in free agency and get yourself a guy like KJ Osborne to help solidify that wide receiver room?
Perfect.
And still make it one of the worst in the NFL. So God forbid, let's not take a generational receiver here. We're going to go Jaden Daniels, and we're going to get our quarterback of the next year, and then he's going to be trash, and we're going to move on from him right after that. So let's go ahead and get Jaden Daniels in here.
Man, those 20 years of success really hit you guys hard.
Yeah, I know. It must be terrible not winning a Super Bowl every 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cardinals on the clock for you, Gage. What are you feeling?
They're taking my boy Marvin Harrison Jr.
Quick one.
Yeah, I'm really, I'm struggling here with these picks. I'm having to do a lot of thinking.
Yeah. All right. This has gone, 1 for 1 for my, mock draft 2.0. So if you appreciate that, go check that out. Quick plug. But we're going to continue that trend by having JJ McCarthy go to the Vikings. One of the things that we talked about on that one is there is a lot of unknown when it comes to McCarthy, but there's a lot of things that make you believe this is the pick for the Vikings with his ability to move the pocket, with his ability to throw on the run. He's got arm strength. There's a lot of things that you can work with, and the Vikings seem to be set up to be able to bring him in, not rush him in, and get that timing right. So that's the pick there for me. Mikey, you got the New York Giants on the clock.
I do.
Are you
Hey, what?
You rolling with your quarterbacks?
No, I'm not rolling with my quarterbacks. I want to roll with the next Odell and Malik Neighbors.
I like it.
LSU. Next Odell.
Just like Odell, Malik Neighbors.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more muscle than OBJ, but every bit as fast.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep.
All right, Gage.
Speed, crazy change of direction.
help out the AFC South and let's get the Titans a pick that doesn't work.
I'm going to go with Alou Fashanu from Penn
Ooh,
State, the offensive tackle.
okay.
I
I'm
personally like him
scrolling
the
quite a bit down to get this player. What's your
PFF.
reason for that?
I think he's a great tackle. I think all of these guys are great tackles. He's just my personal favorite. You remember when JJ Arcega-Whiteside was just this kid, his prospect, just absolutely amazing. PFF swore by him, and yeah, okay. Don't always listen to PFF; they get it wrong 45
Most
to
of the
50% of the time. So Joe Alt's great. So is Alou.
Yeah. Anyways, I do agree with that. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to say anyways like that didn't matter, but I do like Fashanu. He was seen as the number one tackle at some points in this year, so it's not completely far off. I was asking because that's what a lot of people here watching are probably going to be wondering. So I do like
you
the
guys
pick.
also. It's not just I'm just throwing it out there to throw it out there. You guys got Brian Callahan from the Browns. He's the offensive line coach, the best offensive line coach in football. If you take a guy that is a little bit more raw, but has a lot more upside and physical talent, guess who's going to be able to get that out of him? So take who you think has got the best potential. You know, if that's Joe Alt, that's Joe Alt. But I think Alou has got a lot more athleticism. So
yeah, no, I don't hate it. With the Falcons on the board, this is one where originally I went and took Byron Murphy, but so that we can see a different outcome, I would go Dallas Turner. That seems to be the favorite pick for the Falcons at the moment. Just a really solid edge, very cognizant, great run stopper, and he has the speed and strength to get to the quarterback on passing downs too. So Dallas Turner, first edge off the board. Mikey, you got the Bears on the clock with their second pick.
Yeah, but it's going to be a quick one. They're going to go with Rome Odunze here. They're going to get that
Ooh.
true outside guy.
Throw
deep
in,
threat.
just to throw in Joe Alt is still on the board. Just a little. No?
No.
Fair enough. Rome Odunze, he's
They already have
arguably
Wright
the
from
second best
Tennessee
wide
last year.
receiver.
yeah. Well, like Dylan's sitting there bringing it up. Joe Alt's still on the board, not for long. The New York Football Jets, TES, Jets are gonna take him. Help solidify that line to protect your hopefully quarterback of the future, maybe more than just the 1 year. But
Yeah. Now that's a very, very solid pick. I think if Joe Alt's on the board, that is what they would do. With the Chargers on the clock, Brock Bowers is starting to look very much like a Charger to me. He offers just great instincts when it comes to being at the right place at the right time, but he's got that yak ability. He's got that just weird tight end wiggle that some tight ends have, where it's not fast, but it just wiggles in the right way, and he gets that extra 3 or 4 yards. So I like Brock Bowers. I feel like that's going to fit with what the Chargers are going to do moving forward. They move on from Gerald Everett, and he's a far cry from what Brock Bowers can do. So that's kind of my pick here for the Chargers. But Mikey, you got the Broncos on the clock.
Yes, I do. And I already know who they're going to go with. Because they're going to reach for this man. Because if you like a guy, you're going to go get him. And it's going to be Bo Nix.
Boom. Bo Nix. A lot of reports talking about his potential fit with the Broncos being a great fit. Obviously, Bo Nix played a lot of college ball. He played with a lot of great talent in Oregon. So we'll see what that translates to in the NFL. But seems to be like the most logical pick right now for the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gage, you got the bad boys Vegas Raiders on. And bad as in not good, not bad as in naughty.
I think in your draft that we kind of just put out, we had them going with Quinyon Mitchell. I'm going to switch it up a little bit, change it up with them. Just as big of a need to lease Fuaga, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Can't speak. From Oregon State, I'll have them go.
Yeah, they lost the Luminor to the Giants, I believe, so that does fit a need with great value. I got the New Orleans Saints on the board, and I'm going to trade the pick to the Indianapolis Colts. No. We're good. We're good. There's a lot of things that they could do here. But one that I think is sneaky for the Saints, because a lot of people are, putting tackles, could definitely be a tackle. Flatanu, Latham, Mims, Barton are all people that I think could go in the spot. But why not make a strength with some premium talent at Quinion Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo? Should go much higher than this, but I feel like is it Lattimore kind of getting to a point where his contract's not something that they love potentially. Quinion Mitchell can come in as that Greg Newsome type to Denzel Ward, but eventually take over sooner than Newsome would. So I do like pairing him up with Lattimore for the time being, but having your cornerback for the future too. Mikey, though, you got my Colts, so please be nice.
I do. And I'm probably going to go. I got two guys in mind here. We got Byron Murphy or Jared Verse.
I don't think Byron Murphy, personally.
You don't think so?
We got Buckner, we got Grover Stewart, and then we also just paid, what's his face? 6'7" defensive tackle out of Miami. I forget his name.
Sounds like that guy's really good.
Yeah.
We just signed him. Sorry, I don't know his name.
Byron Murphy tested crazy, so you can't let him go because of that scoring system you guys use. He tested crazy. Okay, we can't let.
Yeah, but we have like the best defensive tackle duo now that Aaron Donald is gone.
He can't go. We'll go Jared Verse then.
Perfect. That is
only because we're
lovely.
doing what we're doing.
I always knew you were one of my friends, Mikey.
Yep. Hang a banner. Jared
Just
Verse.
one of them.
All right, Gage, you got the Seattle Seahawks out here.
I do. And I'm going to go Liatu Latu. Keep them on that West Coast. They need edge help. And give, that new head coach out there another piece to play with on that defense.
Oh, yeah, he's coming from Baltimore, that defensive coordinator from Baltimore.
Yep, McDonald.
Getting a long, lengthy, but agile cat out of UCLA, so I like that. I will be nice on the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I'm not looking to ruin their lives, but
the Jags already do that for them. When they sucked up and lose the last 6 games of the season and not make the playoffs. We got to be nice.
I think at this point, then Byron Murphy has fallen a bit too much. They do have their number 1 overall pick, right? Out of what's his face? Not Aiden Hutchinson.
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker. But you pair Byron Murphy with Trayvon Walker. You also have Josh Allen and another edge. I'm forgetting. I'm blanking. But Byron Murphy, I think, just add more to that defensive line. I think he would be able to pair well with him. So, but Mikey, you got the Bengals here. They got plenty of tackles on the board. Is that where you're leaning, or are we looking?
That's exactly where I'm leaning. I'm going with Troy Watanu. Sorry, I stuttered. I struggled there for a second. The tackle out of Washington.
Perfect.
Get Joe Burrow the protection he needs.
For real, young, and get a lot of value out of the position where they're going to be needing some money here soon. So that's a great pick.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Keep bringing in more rookie offensive linemen to get eaten alive by this Browns defense and Myles Garrett.
Yeah. All right,
and then have a really good team and get swept by us in the regular season again.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Gage, you got the Los Angeles Rams. They have famously got retired upon by Aaron Donald, greatest defensive tackle of all time. Do you feel like they fit that hole, or do they look elsewhere?
I do. I do think they go Jershon Newton. I talked about it. You said it was a reactionary. It's hard not to. It's hard not to be reactionary.
No, that's definitely fair. He retired after the first wave of free agency, so they didn't have that ability to go get like Christian Wilkins to fill that need. So they might not have a veteran in place to really take on that role in their defense, and it kind of changes almost too much of their defense. So I do see Newton coming in there to be a little bit of a stopgap and potential filler of that role, which big issues ever to fill. So kind of unfair to Newton, but you gotta do it. Pittsburgh Steelers are on the board here. I was called out a little bit for not going wide receiver here, so I'm just going to kind of talk about wide receiver. Brian Thomas Jr. and I Mitchell could be great partners with George Pickens. But the Steelers, to me, like I said in my mock draft 2.0, I don't see them taking a wide receiver in the first round unless there's a real clear guy. And you got Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Terrion Arnold on the board. Some great pieces to work with. Jackson Powers Johnson is a great interior offensive lineman, specifically at center too. But with Terrion Arnold on the board, you got a great chance to pair Joey Porter Jr. With another young corner to kind of solidify that position and get that defense rolling. So I'm going to go Terrion Arnold if he's on the board here.
Okay.
Disrespect to Cooper DeJean right now.
All right. Well, you got the Miami Dolphins on the board. Are they going to show some respect to Cooper?
Probably not.
Ah.
I think they're going to go. What do they really need? How many frauds are on that roster?
They did
a lot.
They did lose some defensive tackles. They've lost some offensive line, and that's kind of a need. Tight end potentially.
Linebackers.
Yeah, they have some needs, but
they got a lot of frauds. Let's go with J.C. Latham.
J.C. Latham, solid pick, tackle out of Alabama.
That'd be nice.
Okay, Gage, you got the Flying Eagles on the board. You got a lot of fans out there from the Eagles, so they could potentially come in here and threaten you if you choose wrong. What is your pick?
I'm going to go with the least controversial pick possible then. I'm going to go Cooper DeJean. Nothing like a white cornerback. That ruffles no feathers, and that's going to be successful. So let's go with them. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
From one bird to another.
There are some people that say safety is written all over him.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think he plays a good enough game at corner that I think he could be there. He's not a man shut down corner, but he's
athletic.
No, he's very good with his eyes towards the quarterback. He's got good instincts, but he usually plays off the wide receiver. And he's not playing press, so he is very good. That's why he's up here. But there's a difference to his game than. Anyways, the Chargers have their second pick here, and we first went with Brock Bowers, a tight end. Wide receiver is something that we could plug in here to kind of stock up this receiving core for Justin Herbert. But I feel like at the time, we're going to see Harbaugh really want to push this run game to its max. And Amarius Mims here, I think, would be a great pick. Because he has a lot of experience with run blocking. You put him opposite of Slater. I think that really solidifies the tackle game for the Chargers. And then the wide receiver that you get in second and third rounds going to be open a little bit longer. So I like it. But Mikey, you got the Dirty Boys, Cowboys.
Yeah, you took my pick there. I'm a little upset about it, but luckily there's another guy right here who could play just as good. His name's Graham Barton. Plays tackle from Duke University.
Yeah.
With Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith gone.
Leaving, and then Leo Collins, as we mentioned in your mock draft. Go check that out if you guys didn't see it yet. So we'll solidify that offensive line for him here again. Get another guy in there, see what he can do.
For sure.
Pretty boy Dak.
I know the Packers. This just screams Packers to me. I think it's going to happen. Peyton Wilson to the Packers.
I read your mind.
I know. I've mentioned it a couple times. I can't get off of it. It just seems like the Packers. It just screams like the Packers for me. That's who I think. I mean, he's a great ball player. He's a great tracker. I mean,
I think what we have to say though, every time we mention Peyton Wilson, is it depends on the team's comfortability with his
yes.
medicals. So if you get green lights, boom, this is a great pick.
Yeah.
And they just let go their linebacker that they had for a long time.
So Darius Smith?
No.
Campbell.
Yes.
Signed with the 49ers.
Yep. Okay. Buccaneers are on the board. With threats of being called stupid, I'm going to really put my thinking cap on and make a great decision here. I think
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler. Yeah, no, I would be on some list somewhere. I'm going to go with Jackson Powers Johnson, though. This dude is very valuable. Whether he goes guard, whether he goes center, I think the Buccaneers could utilize him and give Baker Mayfield a solid offensive line. So,
okay.
Jackson Powers Johnson here. Obviously, there could be a number of other picks, and there could be a lot of things happen. The draft is not one round. So, with that being said, Mikey, you got the Cardinals on the board. Their second pick of the draft.
Yeah.
They previously took Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep. So that just means Brian Thomas Jr. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. When you have 2 luxury picks like that, you got to.
Oh, yeah.
Nah. It's either between Nate Wiggins or Tyler Guyton here. I could probably use both. Let's go Nate Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins. I like it.
6'2" corner out of Clemson.
This mirrors a pick that I had for the Cardinals in my 2.0. I think Jonathan Gannon would be able to work with Nate Wiggins very well despite his weight. So,
well, I'm gonna go, and I'm here with the Lake Erie Bros and Buffalo Bills, and I'm gonna have them take Adonai Mitchell.
I also read your mind on this one too. I like it. AD Mitchell is a great red zone threat. He has great route running. Any other thoughts that you have, though? Why would the Bills do that?
Yeah, I mean, you got Josh Allen. You need a wide receiver to actually be, compatible with Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis did that 12% of the time, and that's why they let him go, because he really struggled to do anything consistently. So you're hoping you could still get that deep, big play threat with AD, but also, like you said, he's a really good route runner, and he is a lot more to the game than just the red zone and running straight. You can work over the middle and add another layer in that intermediate route game.
100%. No, I agree with that. With the Detroit Lions here, I'm looking for a dude that's just ferocious. One that I keep coming back to is Chop Robinson. A lot of offensive line potential for this pick, but for me, Chop Robinson is a very twitchy edge prospect that has areas to work on, I think. But as far as a pass rusher, Chop Robinson excels, and I think he would be perfect in some packages for the Lions. And where they don't have a lot of clear needs, I think Chop finding his way into the first round would be beautiful to see, because he's got a lot of talent. But Mikey, you got the Baltimore Ravens, the bane of Gage's existence. What are we putting here?
I don't know. I don't hate him that much. Not anything to worry about. Once you get in the playoffs, Lamar's going to do what he does and shut down and not play football no more.
Yeah, at least they get into the playoffs consistently.
I mean, beat them this year, so shoot. Yeah, we made the playoffs too. And you know what happened? We both went home. So,
anyways, Mikey, you really, really thinking here. What are some thoughts you got?
I'm just trying to decide on what to do.
We got Brian Thomas here.
Yeah, I do. And that's really kind of who I'm looking at, to be honest. Really who I'm looking at.
There's some corners like Kool-Aid here.
Yep, I just clicked on him as well.
Tackles like Jordan Morgan, Kingsley Sumatea.
Sorry, I should have been a little bit more prepared.
No, you're good, dude. It once you get to these picks, it's like, okay, well, they've made the playoffs, they made a deep run. What do they need at this
Yeah.
point? So it is kind of difficult to really pin down. Okay, these guys, they're not top at their position, but like, where are they going to go?
I think I might go with the 6'6" tackle here out of Arizona with Jordan Morgan.
I like it.
Got good athletic traits, fast hands and feet. So
Yeah.
Okay,
put
well,
him on the line.
I'm loving
Utilize
it.
him well.
I'm loving it because the Niners are just going to go and grab Tyler Guyton, who fell all the way down to him at 31.
He's
So
a little
All
too
right.
raw for me.
He's a
Well,
what?
He's a little too raw for me.
Yeah, well, if there's a guy that or a team to go to develop, it's the Niners, unless your name's Trey Lance.
well, so Xavier Worthy is. I'm just kidding.
No, you do it.
Brian Thomas Jr. This is a pick
What?
that I made in my 2.0.
Exactly.
I really.
be bold.
This is bold because
Well,
Brian
Luke
Thomas.
McCaffrey's sitting here.
Brian, Josh. Don't get me started on Luke, but um, no, Brian Thomas Jr. I think it fits. Honestly, you get something that they just don't have, and that's just size, speed, and honestly, good hands, good route running. I think he was kind of given a role where he wasn't able to do a whole lot of different route trees, but as the slot fade or those crossing routes, rub routes, stuff like that, that's where he really excels with the ball in his hand. So getting that kind of dude, honestly, it could be someone like a Troy Franklin or Xavier Worthy, or they could just skip that and wait for the second, third rounds to replenish that well again. But I'm gonna go Brian Thomas Jr. here because a lot of people view him as a mid first round guy. I see him as a mid to late first round guy. I just don't really see him falling all the way to the Panthers at 33. So I had to stop the run there. But here's another look at our first round here. I like a lot of these picks. I don't think a lot of them are too reachy. And a lot of these players deserve to be in the first round. So I like it a lot. I like Mikey picking Jared Verse, my guy. So really appreciate that. Any other things standing out here for you guys?
The fact that we're in a day and age where it's very likely that JJ McCarthy is going to go top 5 is just, to me.
Hey, it's better than Zach Wilson going top 2. So
Yeah, and if you guys go back and watch our stuff, I bagged that dude repeatedly.
yeah,
I told everybody he is not good. I don't know why you guys are getting hyped. He got benched at BYU 3
What's that
separate
one
times.
throw, dude, during his pro day? That one throw, dude, that he made?
yeah. But
He was never
it wasn't
good.
just one throw. Like he was on ESPN a ton in that season. He was
Yeah,
on
when he
ESPN
played
a
at
lot.
Freaking Coastal Carolina and ACC 4
Yeah.
conference
Well,
teams.
yeah. No, there's a lot that went into it, but it wasn't like they just saw one throw and it's like, ooh. And I see that so much nowadays. I had to make mention of that. But
Funny story. Now that we're on Zach Wilson, I live in Utah. I work HVAC out here. I went to their neighbor's home, next door neighbors of his childhood home. When the mom was like, "Man, we were so surprised he was drafted so high," should tell you how they felt about where he was going to probably end up going, because you're in Utah. He was probably like the biggest thing right then and there. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm so surprised he went high." So it's just a funny story.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, man, I forgot
She
that.
just doesn't know ball. Take that one.
Anyways, I do like this first round pick, but if you guys have any difference of opinions, obviously drop that in the comments because that's just there you go. I got a matching shirt. But drop those thoughts in the comments. We like to respond. Also, give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps us out growing as a smaller channel. But also look out for my mock draft 2.0 if you haven't already seen that. That's going to be on our channel. And we will be putting out more NFL draft content, so stay tuned to our channel. That's another reason to subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.
Deuces.
Worst mock draft ever. Peace.